And let's get some of the action in round number 2.
Marquez putting his punches together, working the body and the head. That's a great, nice right hand from Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao trying to go ahead and work. Marquez countering beautifully.
And both fighters were so quick. Timing was brilliant by both fighters. And you see Marquez never took his foot off the pedal. He kept coming forward and forward.
And the more the fans now are seeing this replay that is also being played for them, now comes the booing.
Exactly, you know, so many clean shots were thrown in that fight by both fighters. And, you know, every round was an exciting round.
Boy, was I wrong. I said it was going to end in the 7th, but Juan Manuel Marquez proved me wrong.
Definitely.
And I'm glad I'm wrong. I mean,
Marquez proved me wrong. I said it's going to go within 6 rounds. And the way he come, I mean, I've never seen Marquez fight like this. I've got a lot of respect for him, and, you know, what a great performance.
But Amir, you watched Manny work out, and he just was not able to do the things he was doing in the workout in this particular ring.
I mean, Marquez, they've done, like you said previously, they've done 24 rounds together, and it was going to be a tough fight for Manny regardless. And, you know, Marquez knows how Manny fights and everything, and it was just one of those fights. Styles make fights.
So now let's get an interview now with Manny Pacquiao, who's standing by. So,
well, that's a shame. The world feed isn't picking up the interview with Manny Pacquiao. We'll come back to Manny in a moment. I suspect what he's saying is, well, in fact, I haven't got a clue what he's saying because I'm quite flabbergasted. I know you two are both shocked.
He'll be saying not very much. He doesn't say very much, but about 12,000 people out of 17,000 in there, they were saying something. They stopped the broadcast and sent us to world feed because they were just booing the place outright. And we know why they were booing it.
Is that one there the real winner tonight in your head, Steve?
Oh, either Steve will answer that one.
What was that?
Is that the real winner there?
Absolutely. I mean, it was just a disgraceful decision. Yeah. Manny Pacquiao wasn't in the fight. He was off balance from the very first round. He was getting caught with 2 or 3 shots. Manny Pacquiao was landing 1 shot, maybe 2 shots at a time, but he didn't win the fight tonight. The promoter, or whoever, some money person won the fight tonight, but the true fighter did not win. It was a terrible decision, and it's a shame. And
tonight, your scores.
Decisions like this do more damage to boxing.
They don't help. Let me say something, Andy. We've built up this thing around Manny Pacquiao. Okay, everything Freddie Roach has said and everything we've read and everything the way it's gone on has been that he's untouchable. Now he's got 2 hands, he's going to walk through. Okay, Steve and I spoke about 6 or 7 hours ago and we said, you know what, I don't think it's going to go that way. Still think Pacquiao will win, but it's definitely, you know, we've seen a long fight. And I'm telling you, I know some big journalists in every way are tweeting online. I am telling you, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy. I'm not saying the fix is in, because that would be, you know, that's just wrong, or that's a quote from someone at the Foreman and Ali fight. I am telling you that was wrong, and it will lead to, mark my words, there will be a massive investigation over that decision.
Let's see from Manny Pacquiao right now.
Victory, as you can see, people, yet again, another controversial outcome. Give me your thoughts on how you were feeling tonight and on the fight in general.
Well, it's very clear I won the fight, and, you know, we have to accept that Marquez is a good fighter also, and he's a good counter-puncher.
At any point, did you get hurt by Marquez tonight?
In a point, yes, I hurt a couple of times, but, you know, I'm very careful because he's a good, he's waiting for my punches, and then he's gonna counter it.
Tonight, we took a moment and we honored Joe Frazier. And Joe Frazier obviously had the classic battles with Muhammad Ali, and it seems that Marquez is your Joe Frazier. So would you like to continue to fight him yet again, or was that the end and you would like to end it with the trilogy and move on to someone else?
I don't know. It depends. You know, anytime I can fight any fighter as long as there's no problem with my promoter. It depends on my promoter, Bob Arum. Absolutely, yeah.
I know you always have a lot on your plate, Manny, and so gracious with the people of the Philippines and wanting to help them. And of course, with Mayweather looming and predicting all these bouts, and I know Bob Arum to the side can answer this question, but would you like to fight him if schedule permits come May?
On May, I don't know. It depends. That's Bob Arum's job, and I'm going back to the Philippines and do some work in the office.
Let me ask the man of Mr. Arum, sir. How would you see this fight planning out for yet another one, or would you like to continue on to new horizons?
I'm bound and determined to have these two fight once and for all in a decisive fight. I had Manny winning this fight. Some people, particularly Mexicans, had Marquez ahead. I'm going to talk to Manny. I'm going to talk to Juan Manuel, and maybe we'll do it again in May.
No one lost as far as the fight fans are concerned. World-class fighters, total gentlemen, class in and out of the ring. And congratulations on the victory, Manny, and on a great card tonight, sir.
It was great for boxing. If we do it again, it's going to set all monetary records for any pay-per-view.
Manny, is it concert time now?
Yes. Thank you. I would like to thank God for the victory that He gave it to me tonight, and I'd like to thank to all the fans who came here tonight.
Congratulations, champ. We'll see you at the concert. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Mario Lopez asking the questions. Not quite sure who was saved by the bell there, but Bob Arum's answer there.
I just want to say one thing. Don't thank God for the decision tonight, because God would not have made that decision. That decision was made to suit the lining of people's pockets, in my opinion.
Bob Arum said there he'll consider them doing it again once and for all. The fact that Arum would consider it a fourth fight.
Then he said it'll break all pay-per-view records.
And you know, it's sickening and it's disgusting. And it's, you know, two guys came out and put a performance on tonight. They both gave it the best shot. One guy won, but didn't get the decision.
You know, one of the problems we've got, okay, is that there are British press over there, okay, and there are American press at ringside and press from all around the world. And there is a disease in press rooms around the world at ringside whenever Manny fights. It's called Manny disease, okay, and it obscures your vision so that you watch Manny fight and you only see Manny hit other people. And Andy, it's been coming. You know, we've seen it twice against this guy, and we've now seen it for a third time against this guy. This was open and shut. This is not up to interpretation,
You can't blame
Andy.
Manny for what happened here.
No, of course
And I'm
not.
sure I had Freddie in his corner, who's as straight and honest as they come. We're losing.
Yeah,
Okay.
after end of the 7th round.
We're losing, you know, so...
Well, I'll tell you, the scores there we had, you know, your scores, fellas. Steve Collins, you had it 1-1-3, 1-1-8, and you were struggling to give Manny some of those rounds. Bunty, you had it 1-1-1, 1-1-7. The scores in the arena, we had 1-1-4, 1-1-4, 1-1-5, 1-1-3, and 1-1-6, 1-1-2. That's what we're talking. What, 6 rounds, 10 rounds difference between how you saw Steve Collins and how Mr. David.
Just look at how Manny, you know, stood in the ring, how he you know, his persona was. This guy's a politician. He's outspoken. He knew inside himself it was a hollow victory.
Well, watching the analysis, it's hard to find Manny's success.
And the commentator thanking the Bob Arum, thank you, sir, for great performance.
What's
I mean,
that about?
let's read between the lines here. You know, who won tonight?
You know, Steve said after about 3 rounds they can't find a clip of Manny hitting Marquez, and they couldn't, Andy. And even at the end, there was no clips. There were no clips of Marquez, almost no clips of Marquez getting clumped. And at the end of the fight, you saw Freddie in the corner. You know Freddie, Steve. You trained under him. And you saw Manny. You know, Andy, we've done enough Manny fights here and on other channels. You saw Manny. Manny looked like a beaten fighter. He was resigned. So much. He was completely and utterly resigned. In fact, we were starting to talk about one thing we hadn't heard before this fight was how much the politics is taking up of his life. We thought that would be the excuse by midnight Vegas time. They knew they'd lost that fight.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at some of the tweets that are coming through tonight. I can't get through all your names, we'll get there in a moment. But not a single person that's come to us so far has said they had Marquez winning that fight. Oh, sorry, had Pacquiao winning that fight, which I think says, in fact, no, I lie. Tom Box Asylum has sent us one through saying he thought Marquez had Pacquiao winning that, sorry, by 2 or 3 rounds.
Asylum? Is that a Box Asylum?
No, he's Tommy Gunn who knows his stuff. Tommy knows his stuff, but I'm telling you what, I know one thing. Tommy's an honest guy. He'll wake up in the morning and watch it again, and he might think, "Ooh, trust me, I wouldn't be at all surprised."
No, I you know, if you have it close, you have it close. But I think you know, Marquez won tonight, and it's a shame because you know Manny's a great guy. This is going to stay. If Manny had a loss tonight, you've got a better reason for a rematch. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, but you know, reading between the lines here, Bob Arum is saying we're going to make it the most, you know, one of the wealthiest fights or biggest earners in history in the rematch. Maybe he's saying that to console Marquez. Look, we know you lost, but look, give a rematch and we pay a hell of a lot of money.
Million, yeah.
Give you 10 million. I feel I'm a little gutted, you know. It's been a bit of for a great night and a terrific fight. The result has been like an anticlimax.
Yeah, you and Eddie, some of the tweeters, and there's a load of you said this, but is this a political decision to help smooth the way to a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight?
Well, it's not a political. Well, it's a decision. Okay, for a start, those judges aren't crooked, so it's not a decision to do anything. They saw the fight. They scored the fight they saw. Okay, I just think it was diabolical scoring. Okay, we can't get into whether it was fixed or not because that's just, you know, we can't go down that route. Here's what it does: it keeps the Manny, and he generates zillions in that town. The Philippine gamblers are a massive asset to Las Vegas, and they have been for 3 or 4 years during a hard time in the recession. They are big gamblers. So it keeps Manny going. There was no fix here, but everyone knows the score. Let's put it that way. Okay? And sure, it's kept the Manny fight alive. Sorry, it's kept the Mayweather fight alive. But as Steve keeps saying, Bob's just said we're going to set all known pay-per-view records for a full fight in May. If
Manny had lost the fight, it's a win-win draw. It's even, Stephen, going into the fourth fight.
Then we have a fourth fight.
Then you have the fourth fight, and it's worth the money. Then I just think it's a shame. You know, I think Marquez done boxed perfect tonight. He did everything right. You know, Manny wasn't on form. Marquez was, and he won the fight, in my opinion. And no one will tell me anything other. It won't change my mind.
No, I feel like it was just, you know, we're sort of stuck here in a tiny circle. There's no way. I'm not changing my score by a round. You're not changing your score by a round.
I did actually. You know, I gave some to Manny that were close. That could have went either way, but a lot more went to Marquez.
Yeah, it's a shame because we're sitting here kind of a little bit deflated here because we've seen a cracking fight, but we know that, we feel in our heart of hearts it hasn't gone the way we feel it should have.
If Manny had been, you know, if Marquez was given the decision, you would have said a fair decision. Now it's even. Now it's 1-1 and a draw. Let's give it one more. You know, and then I would. But this is like, you know, you're getting a rematch because you really won, and we give you lots of money, but it leaves the door open for, you know, for Manny to go and fight Fly Mayweather Jr. and so on. You know, we're annoyed now. In a couple of months' time, we've forgotten about, and there'll be Manny Mayweather Jr. This fight will be just history again. It's in the past.
You know what, Steve? You know what? There's a chance this one won't. That crowd, you've been in Vegas a lot of times. I've seen you there, and you've watched fights from Vegas. And I'm telling you, Andy, hand on heart, I've never seen a crowd stay like that. That's the sort of thing we get in Britain. That was staggering.
Americans of Mexican descent weren't happy, you know, and they hung around and we couldn't hear the conversation afterwards, you know, because the crowd just booed it out. It's a shame, but you know.
And the Nevada Commission are really sensitive to all sorts of issues. Yep. I'd be staggered if we don't have a review of that fight. I'd be amazed if we don't have a review of that fight.
Well, they won't reverse the decision.
No, just a review, just to acknowledge.
They will have a rematch, and you know, if Marquez is in the same condition and fights like he did tonight, and Manny does, it'll be, you know, Manny will lose, but Manny's got to step it up, and I don't know what happened. You know, before the fight, I seen him on a TV show singing. I seen him, you know, buying a $300,000 car, you know, while in training camp. I seen a lot of distractions. I seen him walk to the ring, you know, high-fiving people, smiling, and I thought, you know,
happy with that, were you?
He's not. It doesn't look right. You know, he's learned a lesson tonight. If they fight again, he's got to go back to basics and go back into, you know, go out into the cold, get into the uncomfortable zone, and get better prepared for the next fight.
You know what? I'm going to use a bit of a Fraser analogy here. We better not forget the winner. We better not forget the moral winner here and the loser on the night. You know, and maybe switch away from Pacquiao, because Marquez's performance was near enough flawless. It was near enough faultless. He did everything perfect tonight, didn't he?
He boxed a perfect fight tonight. Really, you know, Manny wasn't on form. He was off balance. He wasn't cutting the ring off, and he just didn't perform tonight. He can't perform better. Was he distracted? Has he got other things in mind? You know, he just didn't perform to his best tonight. Marquez did.
Yeah, well, we've got absolutely inundated. We've had hundreds of tweets, of emails, of comments on the forums. We're going to pass all those on to Steve. He'll get back to you in various different ways this week. Steve, I'm going to finish on a high, though, because this is reminds me of old days. This one, Craig Patterson has sent us one last tweet, and he said, his missus has fallen asleep next to him. Could you wake her up for him?
Oi! Wake up! Something along those lines.
It's like the old days. It's like, sorry, Steve, that's a bit of an in-house joke, isn't it? It's like the old days. It's been a cracking night. It's been a strange week for boxing this week. We began by remembering the late, great Joe Frazier. Tonight, well, we've seen an absolutely wonderful fight at the MGM in Las Vegas. But, well, it'll be for many a day we'll wonder whether the real man won. We'll see you soon.
The winner by majority decision, and still WBO welterweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of the Philippines.